Before we discuss the implementation process, I'll first talk about three of the very important prerequisites to every implementation. Number one is to define a scope for the project. This process is done to save time and resources throughout the life cycle of the project. Number two is setting of realistic timelines. Now, based on the scope, we can define an end date to the project and then work backwards from it. The third and most important prerequisite is to plan for change management and find the correct project champions. Since ERPs are inherently business critical softwares, any possible change to a business's ERP comes with a lot of resistance and reluctance from the employees. The team needs to be apprised of this and must be mentally prepared for this change. Identifying a capable and committed project champion who can drive the implementation at the client's end is paramount to the success of an implementation project. Now, coming to the implementation process itself, we follow the agile implementation methodology, where an entire project is divided into smaller, digestible chunks called as phases, and each phase can in turn be divided into smaller timelines of 2 to 3 weeks, which are termed as sprints. We generally implement 2 to 3 modules in each phase. The core tasks inside each phase, regardless of the modules, are the same: mapping of the business's scenarios and educating and training of users. This process is repeated until all modules are mapped out and all phases are completed. Towards the end of the implementation, a comprehensive user acceptance test, or UAT as we call it, is carried out, where the end users of the software carry out the day-to-day tasks. Once the UAT is completed successfully, the final master data and opening balances are loaded onto the system, which makes the system go live ready. And on the go live date, the users start to punch in their daily transactions. After a successful go live, we typically have a support or a hypercare period wherein our consultants and our developers are at the beck and call of your users, so that if there is any issue, we can sort it out then and there. Once your team becomes self-sufficient and the hypercare period ends, this marks the end of an implementation project.